live, y'all. Man, y'all just don't know, man. This weekend been crazy, man. It's been a dope weekend for music. I had to play that Raekwon and Nas. I had to put on that Griselda joint. That Griselda joint was fire. And, you know, I'm super hip hop, y'all. So y'all already know how I do, man. I'm always play some new exclusive music that always drop in the culture. Because that's what we do around here. You heard? So, you know, just getting everybody acclimated to the TCK Web3 News Roundtable. Alright, this is episode 75. Checking in live from Atlanta Blockchain Center. You heard? We got a special guest today. You know, he's a regular guest, but he's special because, you know, he always comes through, man, when it comes down to just stand with crypto, man. Stand with crypto. We got the president of the Georgia chapter of Stand with Crypto, Mathis. He's in the building today at ABC. It was a dope weekend. We're going to recap the Coffee and Crypto event at Preval. So that was dope. We're going to get into that. And man, I'm so looking forward to this. I appreciate everybody tapping in. We're going to have some talk about some hip hop talk. But we always going to keep the Web3 wavy around here. You heard? We got some new exclusive stuff on the table if you're viewing us live on Instagram and live on YouTube. If you don't know, now you know. Your boy got the cause clips box up here. It's the gift box that came with the bundle. Got that out here on the table. And you know, we always gonna represent the Pudgy Penguins, man. They've been thorough, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna manifest that deal with Pudgy Penguins. So we got Pudgy Penguins out there. We got NFT energy drink. We got the McDonald's McCafe cup. So we're gonna keep it Web3 wavy out here for the visuals. And we live, man. We live. And I'm excited for today. So, Just Cheeze. We got Just Cheeze in the building. I want to hear your take on the event. What's your thoughts? How you feeling?
I'm good.
What's going on, brother?
Man, where do I start? Yesterday was pretty dope. You know, Wednesday I was at the bookstore gallery. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday. I was at the bookstore gallery. And I was there, told Vincent to pull up because I had my office hours at the bookstore gallery. I told Vincent to pull up because he had some questions about his site that he's working on for his coffee.
No doubt.
So we were having a conversation. And then while I was there, I'm just working and Vincent pulls up and he's like, man, I just got off the phone with Ant. And I said, what's up? He said, Ant said we need to do something for us for coming back, having conversation after they come back from DC. I was like, yeah, I know. Ant told me something about scavenger hunt. And he's like, yeah, but now he wants to do something with coffee. I was like, okay, let's go. And that was Wednesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what I was going to do yet, right? Never even been to this place before, right? Prevail Coffee. So I was like, all right, let me see what we can cook up. So I went online and did some research on Prevail Coffee. Did talk to Vincent, asked him some questions about why, like what inspired him, right? When it came to coffee, and he gave me some feedback. Mm-hmm. So I took all that and I was able to gamify it in time for Saturday, and we had a good activation. Plus, we had a good conversation, you know, from Ant, Marlon, and Vincent. Vincent pretty much took his podcast style that he does with his coffee and crypto community, and he made it IRL.
Mm-hmm. The pop up.
Yeah, he did a pop up. So, a lot of his community members, and his closest family and friends, that are usually on his you know on his Discord, on his live streams, they now are IRL with, you know, a lot of people I never seen before there, but now they can engaging with the ABC community, right? So it's all connected, and a lot of people came out, and it was pretty good. See people walking around, finding the QR code, scanning them. There was one interestingly hidden in the bathroom.
You had one in both bathrooms?
No. It was the bathroom was unisex in a way where people could get to it without having to go into the bathroom at once. But overall, it was dope. So yeah, it came together nicely.
That's super lit, man. Nah, Cheese, that's super lit, brother. That's super lit. We had a good time. I finally had some of the coffee. Nah, it was dope, bro. I like the fact that we had a instant recap. It was just perfect timing for Vince. And shout out to Vince. He might tap in today. If he do, we definitely gonna have him up there. I'm gonna send him a message so he can tap into the spaces. But shout out to Vince, man. He came through. The event was dope. Marlon and Vince, y'all were able to really get into the weeds on what happened out there in DC as far as with this Genius Act being passed. So, and what it means going forward, you know, for companies, especially that come out of ABC, you know, that happen to launch tokens or NFT projects. So, yeah, man, it was real dope. Vince had a good turnout, like you said. Good amount of his family and friends, people from his community showed up, so that was dope. So, what we gonna do? We gonna set it off with our guy, man. We gonna have our guy Aunt Mathis pull up, cause you know he was out there, and we gotta get his take, man. He was out there in DC representing. I'm gonna tell you right now, this photo that they took in front of the Capitol, I guarantee you, this is gonna be in the history books. When they talk about
social studies books.
Yes, sure. Yes. All the social studies books, history books. When they talk about the first bill that was officially written into law and passed by both the Senate and the House, Trump, you know he was going to sign off on it. He signed off on it Friday. Man, it was a victory for the whole crypto industry, man. It was an extreme victory, man. Then Ripple went on a high, you know what I'm saying, like the day before. Bitcoin, we already know, hit a high like Monday. Ethereum has been ripping, so the market has been reacting very, very positively to this news, obviously. So, man, hey, president of Stand With Crypto. You can sit over here, brother. You gonna sit over here, man. You good, man. Good. You gonna sit right here, brother. For those tapping in live on YouTube, on Instagram, we're gonna have our guy Aunt Mathis, president of the Georgia chapter of Stand With Crypto, give us his take on his experience out there in DC, man, and what it was like. And thank you for representing, man. You did a great job. You and Marlon, Chris and Van, man, y'all represented.
Absolutely. Thank you, T.Gold. What's up, Just Cheeze? Happy Sunday to everyone. Day of the Sun. Here we are, TCK, and this past week was a blur. Man, I can't believe it's so much happened this past week. Here we are today, yesterday, coffee and crypto. Just got back in town from DC Thursday. I mean, Friday I had a lot of things to take care of too. So just getting back Thursday after, you know, flying in to DC on Tuesday. And it was a surreal experience. I could say that I can see how everything has come together. First, before I get started, just shout out to Atlanta Blockchain Center and the team here. You guys in this community is recognized across the country for all the work that it's doing as far as just educating the community, onboarding the community, developing partnerships, the marketing opportunities, raising money for projects like Project Pi. We have cohorts, startups. We're about to start cohort 6. I'm so excited for cohort 6. We have some hitters in cohort 6 that's really going to, I believe, further put Atlanta on the map for our mission for.
The ladies.
Yeah.
The ladies is representing,
and that's
this,
what
this
I'm really like low key trying to say is that cohort 6 is going to have several women startup businesses.
That's right.
That I'm excited to see be here and go through this accelerator and be presented to the world for blockchain Web3. And yeah, it's just like I'm saying, just want to give a shout out to Atlanta Blockchain Center for everything that I just said. We've been going 3 years, and our motto is 10 and 5, one of the top 10 blockchain centers in the world next 5 years. And we got a couple more years to go, and it's cool just to see everything come together, and just for me to be a part of it. Aunt Mathis, I am till infinity on all social media, and I appreciate the president of Georgia chapter title that I have with Stand With Crypto and the organizations that support Stand With Crypto like Coinbase. And just, I've been a president now for 1 year, and just really cool to see everything.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's just, I remember just like a year ago, we were over in West Midtown on stage with Lil Bow Wow and the East Side Boys. And I don't know if y'all been listening to that Magic City Money. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all, coming together, Jermaine Dupri and, the documentary. But back to, what we're talking about, the Genius Act and going to D.C. and seeing everything come together with multiple presidents of different states coming in to represent their state, to speak to their senators and educate them about the importance of the Genius Act and how it's, we need this technology here to be able to make impact. There's a lot of people that are in these communities that are impact directly, their families, their businesses. And once they start to learn and they started, this was more so, a couple months ago, we spoke more on the Genius Act. This was more so on the Clarity Act. But, it's big week because it was Crypto Week. This was a federal labeled Crypto Week, which I thought was amazing. But the reason why it's Crypto Week because there was going to be so many changes. I mean, this is the future of finance.
That's right.
And in DC, I saw some really cool graphics and billboards and stuff talking about America voted for crypto.
Let's go.
And it's really dope to see that with a couple months ago being in DC for the Genius Act, and then seeing that getting signed, knowing that while we were there, I had opportunity to speak with Senator Warnock and Senator John Ossoff, and for them to be able to speak to their staff and their staff speak to them. That's right. And for them to vote yes for the state of Georgia for, their first vote, and now it's signed. I thought that was an amazing accomplishment, and that just shows that the work that we're doing here in the Blockchain Center is being recognized, and we're going to get a chance to make an impact. And then this go around, we talked to them more about the Clarity Act. And once again, they had shared with us that, it was all about us educating them. And then we had examples, and those examples. And once the senators got a chance to see how, their constituents in their districts are benefiting from this, like especially creating jobs, that's a need. That's economics. It's a job. And once they got the wind of that, they started, leaning in the direction of, what we were there for. So I would say just flying in Tuesday and just getting there, and then everybody coming from different parts of the country. These are representatives of their chapters in their states, and then also there were business owners there who had these amazing ideas or they have projects that are being launched that are going to be impactful, and for them to just for us to come together, in the city, or in DC for that day and go on Capitol Hill and walk through those buildings, and walking through those buildings is another experience. Just you see it in the picture you see growing up. And I never thought that I would, be on DC and talking to these people in those buildings and doing what I'm doing. But while I'm there, like you said, these pictures that are floating around on Forbes, we made Forbes, just a couple of weeks ago. Atlanta Blockchain Center was on Wall Street Journal. These are going to be historical books. And I'm not even say books is going to be online, or it's going to be NFTs, or it's going to be on the blockchain, So just conscious of that, and knowing like the construction of those buildings and the history of it, and why we're there, and why I'm in this space, and why we're in this space to make an impact, and to walk away while for me it was so. I also learned a lot how laws are passed and legislation, and we are really able to make an impact, when we all come together. And that's what we did with Stand With Crypto. Stand With Crypto, shout out to them. They did a great job. I want to give a shout out to Mason Lana. I want to give a shout out to Nick Carr. Darren Carter, and all the work that they did with just getting everybody together and just on the same page and mobilizing and getting this done. And it was a big week, and it was just, a big week. And then now they're talking about the Clarity Act and things are moving. So, we had a signature on the Genius Act was that Thursday. Friday? Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. See, it was Friday. And then now they're talking about hope, with the Clarity Act to be signed by, September 30th. And then, they're discussing the anti-CBDC bill. And, I imagine that it'll go in favor as well. So I'm just looking at, what they call it in sports when you hit 3 goals.
A hat trick.
The hat trick.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So the crypto hat trick, we need that. And we still got work to do. So, and it was cool to be out there. I want to give a shout out to my counterparts, Van Den Collender and Chris, from Project Pi, and to be out there with Marlon Williams, the founder of Starter Labs, which is the founding organization of the Atlanta Blockchain Center. And, just for him to be in this space for 25, and it's crazy because actually I learned about Stand With Crypto. I'm gonna run the story back real quick.
No,
about a year and a half ago, I was in DC for visiting the passport office, and I looked at my LinkedIn and I saw Marlon and Chris in DC. And it was kind of weird. I had to take a double look, and I called them. I said, "Are y'all in DC?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're at a Stand With Crypto event." I didn't know what Stand With Crypto was.
Wow.
It was like probably more than a year. It's probably like almost 2 years now. And I went to where they were at, and I tapped into that energy, and started meeting some of the people. But then I was seeing that what they were doing, and then obviously a year ago when they showed up here in Atlanta to speak about Stand With Crypto and the mission and what we were working on, that was before the presidential the candidacy and stuff. And then they asked me to be president, and here I am today. It's really surreal. That's what I'm saying. It's really like, how did this happen? And I'm appreciative of it. And I know how it happened. Is I've always put myself in the right place with the right people. Here we are in ATL. We're doing the right things and surrounding myself. And I'm just expecting for more of these things to happen. And, just like I said, being there and just to hear him speak, for me, the last time I was there, Marlon, he was working on, some projects that, the world will soon hear about. And this time around, it was just like, sit back, and let him do his thing, and then just fill in, and just the communication with everything we've been doing in the last couple months, and how he knows everything that we're doing. He's got a strategy, we have a strategy, and just to share that and how it all came together. And to get back Thursday, we really came back Thursday, got right off the plane, and we were here Thursday night for recapping pretty much crypto week, and Friday running around the city of Atlanta meeting with people in meetings and getting things done for some upcoming events that we have and other cool things that we're working on in space to make an impact. And then had an event Saturday, and I was super excited. I know that you asked about the Genius Act and stuff like that, but I'm just kind of giving you a recap of my week. But big shout out to Vincent Owens. Like I said, how me and him connected 3 years ago on the west side of Atlanta, in a business center of an apartment complex. And then, just seeing him working on something, I was working on something, for us to reconnect here at the Blockchain Center. And then actually have conversations about blockchain and knowing what he's working on and, what does he want out of it. And to have some connections with the Blockchain Center and Stand With Crypto and make some phone calls or hit Telegram and get people together from different states for him to now have a coffee brand that he wanted. And to also have, his podcast go to one of the few locations here in Atlanta that's owned by one of those members of Stand With Crypto, and actually have an event there where you said his closest followers and supporters, his family and friends, and then other people were showing up like, what's this? And they were interested. And for me and Marlon to be able to speak to him and talk about the recap again, I think that was impactful, and here we are today, man. My week's been going like just, it's not stopping. So it's cool though. This is what I asked for. I want my plate to be full, so I'm gonna eat. And this is recapping today, and then tomorrow, I'm gonna look back on a little bit, of what we did. But after that, I'm going back to the chessboard, and it's time to get back after it. The marathon continues, like Nip said. So appreciate you, brothers, and we still got work to do. The Genius Act, we got the Clarity Act, the CBDC. So the most important thing though now is for us to continue not educating only our community, but we got to educate, like we said, the senators, the Congress, the president, the mayor, the future, like all of those individuals who are kind of, coming from the Web2 world, a little bit older, a little bit more into the centralized financial world. They're with it once they start understanding and they see the impact. So we just still got work to do, and we are going to spread out, from here throughout Atlanta. And shout out to D Web for going out to his hometown in North Carolina for their first Stand with Crypto chapter meeting and representing Atlanta, but also representing his hometown.
That's
right. Shout out to
That's
Big
right.
Gabby, who was also, visiting. She's from North Carolina. She comes down to Atlanta Tech Week, taps into Atlanta Blockchain Center, really curious, and she takes it all in as far as like listening, and she goes back to North Carolina with a bag of stuff from Stand with Crypto because they haven't received it yet, and the president there is like, that's how y'all do in Atlanta. And we're like, yeah, man, it's crazy because he used to live here and he's got a 404 area code. 18 years ago he was here, but he's in North Carolina. And now you see how we're spreading, in our influence. So we just, one good question, and I'm going to leave it with this, Owen Rogers was like, what's up, Ant? What's the alpha? And I was just like, man, we could do whatever we want. And he said, you don't have to go to D.C. to know that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I was just telling him, I was like, it's so much stuff there's so many opportunities that's happening and in front of us right now, that there's a lot of individuals working on projects, and they should be working on individual projects, but there's some people out there that are available to come work with some of those individuals or work as a group. And I believe that when everybody starts coming together, it's just like, when they say the fingers come together into a fist, there's a mighty impact.
That's right.
So that's where we need to go with it. And I don't think we need, it's like, it's time to turn up. We about to, we already turned up and we're already making some noise. So at this point right now, it's like, I'm not going to run down there. I'm just going to walk it, you know what I'm saying, and just take advantage of all these opportunities.
Thanks. Man, and you know what? You deserve some air horns for that, man. I gotta give you some
Right
air
on, man.
horns for that, man, because I'm going to just tell you like this, brother. Hold up. I got to turn up the volume for that, man. I got to turn it up. Wait, hold up. Yeah, man. We got to do my boy right, man. We got to do my boy right, man. Listen, man. When y'all look in the history books and y'all see the picture that's in the Wall Street Journal,
That one that was on the TV?
I believe so.
Nah, I'm talking about the one with Marlon and the Ant. That was a historical picture too.
We got photos.
Yeah.
Our guys got photos, man. That's gonna be in the history books, and you're gonna see black faces behind blockchain adoption for our country, man. You're gonna see they were behind some of the lobbying that took place. Now, I know that Ant specifically, he said he's not really big into politics, but politics has been drawn to him. So I know his mission. He got, if you don't mind me saying, you got Angel, on the other side working for you.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking about him right now as we speak.
Based on that history and for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is our time. This is our revolution. This is the digital revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. Blockchain, AI. Atlanta Blockchain Center. The mission is what? 10 and 5? Top 10 city in the world. In the world, Craig. For blockchain and AI innovation. We it. Atlanta has done it. The work, like he said, is continuing. But I just want you to know that mission statement, I'm not saying is done, but we got other check boxes we checking off. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just the beginning. We got the momentum. Soon, it's going to be politicians. We already speaking to schools and universities, but it's going to be on a broader scale. Mm-hmm. It's inevitable. So
It's already in progress.
it's already happening. We already been out there in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
We was out there in Tucker speaking at STEAM schools. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is important. This is impactful. We are doing what I like to say is God's work. You know what I'm saying? We on God time. We got synchronicity, and I'm looking forward to the future, man. Then we got we don't want to talk about it yet, but if y'all know what's coming to Atlanta next year, y'all already know we gonna be lined up. We gonna be locked and loaded for that time. You know, when the World Cup kick off. You know what I'm saying? So just know that ABC, man, keep your eyes open and pull up if you can on Thursdays. Get educated, ask questions. If you developing, if you feel like you're on an island by yourself, it's a place you can come and learn, man. So I just want to big up everybody, man. I gotta big up everybody, y'all. Big up Marlon, big up Chris, big up Ant, big up Stan with Crypto. And we gonna get right into it. So we gonna talk about the Genius Act. My iPad won't start acting up. We gonna get right into it. All right, here we go. So, in detail, President Trump has officially signed the Genius Act, the first major U.S. law regulating stablecoins, marking a historic step toward making America a global crypto hub. All right, so I think they took some of that source from us. You know what I'm saying? The law provides a clear framework for stablecoin issuance and trading, unlocking interest from banks and big retailers that have waited for regulatory clarity. While this is a major win, the crypto industry is now shifting focus to an even bigger goal. Like my guy Ant said. All right. Passing, we're gonna have passing comprehensive market structure legislation that would legalize broader crypto activity in the United States. So now, like Ant mentioned prior to this, we got two other bills that they're working on, the anti-CBDC, all right, and we got the Clarity Act, which is a market structure act, classification of securities and commodities in this Web3 space. And the final one is going to be the Bitcoin reserve. That's probably going to be somewhere in like 2026. But they've been kicking that around. But let's talk about stable coins, y'all. Let's really talk about stable coins. What does my co-host think about the impact of this bill, stable coins, and what banks are going to be allowed to do now, and how does this impact us as builders in this space? You want to take this first, Cheeze?
Yeah. So, just thinking about it, we had this conversation here on Thursday, and we opened it up to the floor for people to also comment on what they think is the impact of stable coins. There was some varying feedback from different people on like the good and the negatives of it. Overall, a lot of people are excited because it basically opens the door for more solutions on chain, more use cases on chain. But one of the other interesting feedbacks, when you think about who really benefits the most from this, while we are excited, a lot of the benefit is towards the banks.
Yep.
Right. And the ability for them to quote unquote like rectify or have a solution in this current space where the monetization of the US dollar is dying. Right. So I think this is like a win for us as a country, because now we can make more money off of our digital US dollars. The fiat paper route is not as lucrative, anymore, and we're continuing to dilute it through printing. But now if we can offset some of that dilution through tokenization of real world assets, we can give that dollar liquidity away to, we can put that power of the dollar liquidity in the hands of banks, and they're able to, monetize their own stable coins. So it's going to get interesting to see just like how Circle was able to step in and do things of the same nature and empower communities or ecosystems to be able to have access to these assets. And you have companies like Ripple who are also producing their own stable coins and allowing them to be backed by real world assets like gold, oil. So
Yep.
we're just at the beginning. The crafty like ways that they're gonna we talked about the act, right, and we had it up on the board. They said things that basically like they listed some of the things that the stable coins can be backed by, but then they left out and then they put ETC, like these type of assets, short term cash. So it's gonna be interesting once the companies start reaching out to the government and asking if they can create their own stable coin, and then asking, can I back it with this? And if the government says, yeah, we're gonna see some interesting ones. So people, I would say for people, don't take all stable coins as the same, because it still comes down to what the government is allowing to them to be backed by.
That's a big fact. Big fact.
Want to add anything?
You got anything on that, Ant?
I mean, Cheese always nails it. So, I mean, I agree with him on what he said about, the U.S. dollar. I think it's just going to create a lot of opportunities just for also people in the space like myself. It's going to open up doors globally. And I think this is just a good example. I think there's going to be a lot of stable coins, like just across the world, period. I'm already hearing, I think Kenya has a stable coin now through Solana or something like that. So it's just important that this legislation was passed anyways, because if it wasn't going to be passed, it was, the country that we're in, that we're building in and working in and we benefit in, and just, to a certain extent would be left behind if not, just because the rest of the world is adopting it and the people around the rest of the world adopting this, their economies are going to grow and the people in those economies are going to benefit from it. So, I don't think this is just a one-off. I just think this is something that's globally happening. But the U.S. just happens to, have some people on it that are just making sure that they're leading in this space. So that's one of the things that, like Joe said, it's a good win for the country, for the states.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of states, Wyoming is one of the first states that is launching their own token.
Yeah, they want to launch their own stable.
That's the YSDT token. So I thought that was super interesting. Yeah, man. Stable coins, man, they coming. And I had a conversation with a lovely young lady yesterday about she had a dope store where she sold her merchandise, right? And she had it on Shopify. And so, as y'all know, I'm always rep my brand. You know what I'm saying? Today I got on the core shirt. I ain't gonna lie. I got the Clips core shirt on. But normally I'll be rocking my own shit or Atlanta Blockchain Center brands. But check this out. On my website, IGetBusy.com, got the flyer I'm holding up right here, man. IGetBusy.com. We accept Bitcoin. We accept Ethereum, Dogecoin, 2 other stable coins, USDC, and the DAI stable coin. So I was telling the young lady that she can, if she has a Coinbase account, she can actually integrate her Coinbase account into Coinbase Commerce and add that to her Shopify store. So she didn't know she could do that. So I gave an example, went to my site, put something in the cart, went to checkout, showed her at the bottom all the options to pay. And when she saw the option for crypto and stable coins, blew her away. You know what I mean? So that wasn't part of, any kind of game for me to, that wasn't no game for me to get, the attention of the young lady, but it was some just real economics for her, just talking business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just tell you like this, y'all. Y'all might wanna, if you have a business on Shopify, man, look into integrating commerce. What's that? Coinbase Commerce, and you'll be able to have Bitcoin, Ethereum. It was Litecoin. That was the other one. DAI and USDC. You'll start accepting crypto. Look into that, folks.
Well, I don't see. I agree. It's not game, but it's definitely like game in the sense of like ability that we have this knowledge, and it's our duty to share it with people, and as a means of like servitude, and when people can tap into this knowledge, we're playing our part. So like it's like when Nas says, I don't got no game. Some people understand my story.
That's right.
Right? And you gotta be willing to share that story with some people, so you can like access new information, because some people want the things that they don't know exist.
That's right. Good point, Cheese. Good point. And yeah, good assist. I appreciate the assist last night, bro. That last night was lit. We had a good time, bro. So yeah, man, just know that, if you're a small business owner, you can start accepting crypto on your Shopify stores. So definitely look into that. So speaking of stable coins, all right, and I appreciate our fellas' thoughts and comments on that. Let's talk about
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
You mentioned when you showed the Shopify where when people check out, there were other options where they can pay for it in, what did you say?
It's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, DAI stablecoin, and USDC. So it's 2 stable coins.
Okay. So as a business owner and having a Shopify page and being able to accept USDC and DAI, which are 2 stable coins, you kind of just brushed over that. But I think, just kind of going back to the importance of the Genius Act, you as a business owner, there's no fluff around stable coins anymore,
No
with this
concerns,
Genius Act.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before, maybe it was kind of like, what's this? But moving forward, now you as a business and the other 100 other I Get Busy, T.Golds, the crypto crews can also use those type of platforms that accepts those type of payments to empower their businesses.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the example.
There's no reason
That's
why
right.
they shouldn't turn them on.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's your
Right.
point, right? Yeah. That's his point. Like, there's no reason why they shouldn't go in there and turn that button on. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. Thank you for doubling down on that point. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important for people to know that these tools are available, man. So now, speaking of stable coins, right? Let's talk about Charles Schwab. See what they doing. This is funny. So Charles Schwab may soon join the stablecoin race. All right. The CEO said that the analyst brokerage giant wants to offer a dollar peg token, saying stablecoins will play a key role in blockchain-based transaction. This move aligns with Schwab's growing crypto ambitions, including plans to launch a spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF trading platform. Okay, so the firm oversees $7 trillion in assets, and it follows Citigroup and JP Morgan in signaling stablecoin intentions. Okay?
Did you say $7 trillion in assets?
Yes.
And they want to create a stable coin?
Yes. What's your thoughts?
No, I'm just thinking of the U.S. deficit. What's the U.S. deficit? Like
about 30. It just crossed like 36, I believe.
Is it 36 or 100?
We was at 35. Our debt was 35 trillion, but I think we just crossed 36 trillion.
So I'm just okay. I thought it was in the hundreds. All right, I must have read something different. But I know it wasn't.
Let's
or maybe
Cheese.
or maybe
Cheese,
it was
verify
at
that right quick.
3 trillion like a couple of years ago, and it just 100% just went up to 30. Like it's one of the, or it's like it was at something low trillion. It's like or it's I don't know.
Clinton.
It's a lot.
Just think about it. When Clinton was in office, we had a surplus.
Okay.
So just give you that perspective of time. When Clinton was in office in the 90s,
Okay.
when we had a surplus,
Right.
we really started going to debt when Bush got in office. Bush Jr.
Okay.
Because Clinton got out in the late 90s. So the U.S. debt to date,
36.5.
36.5 trillion.
Okay, so even better. So just by you pointing out those type of numbers, like that's just Charles Schwab, and there's more of those type of organizations out there. I mean, I'm just thinking of like the national deficit and how that right there can start chipping away at the deficit if that's what we need.
Yeah. Man, there's a story Now that you mention that, there's a story I should have linked you about, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Speaking of national debt and what our supposed amount of Bitcoin that we were sitting on could have done to help lower the national debt, come to find out, there's about 28,900 and something Bitcoins our government actually owns in our government's possession. This is information from the the U.S. Marshals. It was the Bitcoin that they were able to confiscate. Now, there was a Bitfinex hack that was also about 90,000 Bitcoin that was supposed to be in the U.S. Marshals' possession, but they don't have it. So technically, I guess they were counting stuff that they had, and then on top of that, they was selling some right before Trump got in office.
Yeah, I remember
on
that.
the low.
I remember that.
All right, so we don't have 200,000 Bitcoin. Cynthia Loomis was tight about this. We don't got the 200,000. Now, Cheese, do me a favor. Check the list on the countries that have the most Bitcoin, because we were number one, if I'm not mistaken, right behind China. It was China and Russia, the top 10 countries that has the most Bitcoin. We're gonna give y'all some real time data.
You said behind China and Russia.
Yep.
I think also what plays a role in that though is the high population of those countries as well.
Well,
Are
they
you talking about
were
just the
doing
government?
mining. You remember
Okay,
they were
okay,
doing mining, so
okay.
that's how they got a lot of theirs.
You're not just talking about in general as far as crypto holders, Bitcoin holders. You're talking about government.
The
entities
government
that are-
itself, like our government, got most of our crypto through seizures and
Right.
confiscations.
Right. And
So-
Ross.
In Ross, yes. Oh yeah, shout out to Ross, man. He was at Bitcoin out there in Vegas this year. He was out there in the convention. He spoke. I thought that was dope. You know, so he finally got free. So, but yeah, you got Citigroup and J.P. Morgan, like you were mentioning, and Citigroup and J.P. Morgan are also trying to launch their own stable coins, and you know they're both sitting on trillions of dollars. And if you add these three companies up, it's probably close to the national debt. What that is, as far as the assets under management.
Okay, so now as we're talking about that, and what is the market cap of Bitcoin right now?
About what 3 We can look that
Okay.
up right now too.
But it not
Probably
too.
around 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is too
I don't
something.
think it's- I don't think it's
Because the
gonna
whole
finish it.
market cap is like 3.8 trillion.
Okay, but
That's right. So it's about 2.4.
But it was just announced last week that the cryptocurrency market cap just surpassed 4.
Just surpassed 4. So Bitcoin is
Okay.
actually 2.3 trillion. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and cryptocurrency as a whole is 4. And-
3.9 exact to date.
Okay, and what is the global asset value? Like I read a chart, it was 900 trillion.
I've
I've
that
heard there's
varied.
been- yeah, I've
that
heard-
varied because they
Right.
couldn't get land
Okay.
properly
of it was
evaluated.
real
So
estate,
it was
right.
like half a quadrillion, which is 500 trillion,
Okay.
to 900 trillion.
Okay, so I know we up here talking numbers, but I'm trying to bring this into perspective. We're talking numbers. I'm trying to bring this perspective is of like when you look at that chart of global assets, and it's like this, and it shows what crypto is, Bitcoin is, and then it shows what crypto is.
Not
And it's-
even 1%, brother.
and it's a small, but it's growing in only 15, 16 years compared to other assets that have been around for hundreds of years.
Thousands of years, silver, gold.
Right. So that's what I'm just saying now with all of these companies, them but other companies bringing these stable coins in, that is now cryptocurrency values where that 4 trillion, just one of them alone, I mean, it can go from 4 trillion to 30 trillion like that, right? Am I right?
That's what Michael Saylor is talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Which now blockchain and cryptocurrency stuff is now a part of that global asset, that
Class,
900
yeah.
to 500, right? So
The new asset class,
and it's,
yes, sir.
it's going to happen very, very fast.
Yes, sir. So now,
Faster than any other financial
100% correct. 100%
setting.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts on Charles Schwab, what they're doing, launching a stable coin? And another thing, I don't know if y'all realize in this article that they are actually trying to get into trading. So they're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum ETFs. So there's several, companies like BlackRock's IBIT, Bitcoin ETF, and you got Ethereum ETFs. So and there's gonna be Solana ETFs on the horizon. We just talked about a Doge ETF last week, which is crazy from a Dogecoin mining company. But we're gonna start seeing more ETFs, and I think this is a good play for normies who are not really too secure about being in this space and being a custodian of their own digital assets. So it's gonna be a good play for them. But as far as us, most of us would probably just invest strictly into these assets themselves. So
I just think overall, I think it's it's the evolution of the space, inevitability of the space for this to be happening, and when INDs got into the space, in some way, I think this is deterring away from where people thought we would be. Right, a lot of people thought like this is decentralized. This is decentralized, and why the institution is so big in it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be here to argue one way or the other whether or not this is retorting that point or not. But it's inevitable that these companies saw the technology and now are utilizing it, and they're gonna, and we ought to pay attention. But at the end of the day, they got trillions of assets under custody, so they can operate like it's. Look at Apple. Apple has now no longer, they got surpassed by NVIDIA, but these are companies that can operate like they have higher market caps than GDPs of countries.
That's right.
Right? So if these companies want to issue a coin, a stable coin, they're not going to think twice about it. Because they recognize they have more capital than states. They have more capital than countries.
Great point, Cheese. And now, do me a favor. See the numbers on the cash. How much liquid cash is Apple sitting on? Because I know Apple is probably sitting on more liquid cash than many other companies in the world. I think Berkshire Hathaway. That's
I think they have about right
they
now.
Got a lot of cash.
As of March, they're at 48 billion, which is about
48 billion.
27% decrease from where they were around 75 billion last year.
You said they had 40 what?
48 billion.
$48 billion in liquid hard cash, paper cash. Now,
stable coin.
They can be their own bank if they wanted to, and incorporate that into Apple Pay with the stable coin. The Apple stable coin, might as well.
They broke up with Goldman Sachs.
They broke up.
Yeah, no, they
so it's coming.
Goldman Sachs Goldman Sachs was the custodian for the Apple Bank card.
Wow.
That came out. There was this. They had about 2 years ago. They had a couple people received them in the mail, but they had this nice thick card. Where it's just like metallic. I know because one of my friends, she had a girlfriend that had it, and I was just looking at it. It was this Apple card, and it was very and it was all backed by Goldman Sachs.
Wow.
But now they stopped issuing them, I believe, and Goldman Sachs, they broke up, and I feel like these type of decisions get made when they see opportunities in the future coming along.
That's a super fact. Good point, Cheese. So yeah, y'all, we're gonna keep our eyes on these companies launching stable coins, these banks launching their stable coins. And we will definitely keep y'all posted. Appreciate everybody tapping in on Instagram. We appreciate everybody tapping in on YouTube. And we're going to keep it moving, y'all. Let's talk about Jack Dorsey. Right? He's the former CEO of Twitter, a.k.a. X. All right? Block, formerly known as Square, will now join the S&P 500 on July 23rd. All right? So it's in a couple of days. So they will be replacing Hess Corp. You know, that's the old the gas company right there. All right? So that's according to the S&P Dow Jones indices. The new sent Block stock up more than 10% in after hours trading. All right, so this happened Friday. Co-founded by Jack Dorsey, Block is known for products like Cash App, Square, and its deep involvement in Bitcoin and blockchain tech. Okay, so they had about $22 billion in revenue last year. And you know, Jack Dorsey is super pro crypto. So, you know, he's been walking around with Bitcoin shirts. The same Bitcoin shirt Cheese got on. You know what I'm saying? Word up.
That's what I wore today.
So that's the ill shit, man. There's been a lot of synchronicities like that too, man. So I think this is interesting. And another note, because crypto donations were larger than oil companies this year, last year in political elections. All right, so that means not only we outspending them as far as when it comes to lobbying in DC, now we're replacing oil companies in the S&P 500. So I gotta ask, and I gotta ask Cheese, what's your thoughts on companies like Block taking companies out the S&P 500?
I think that's the second one. I know Coinbase got
Coinbase
added,
did it. Mm-hmm.
and I think another. I don't know what gas company, or if it was a gas company, but I know another company got taken out. Maybe it was a bank.
I think it was a tech company, like an old credit card company or something like that.
Yeah, it was an old credit card company. But nonetheless, the point is the money movers of the old century,
Mm-hmm.
the banks, the oil, are being replaced with these digital assets and tech and fintech companies.
Yep.
I think we're about to see something that Jack was alluding to, that he was going to drop a new platform that he was going to drop during, like he's been teasing it back during the pandemic, right? This kind of like small business platform where like an evolution of Square, where business owners get access to tools that allow them to do these type of things. I'm just not joking. I'm just guessing because I remember reading a white paper that he dropped around that time, and then he changed the company name to Block. And I remember going to Block, and I was waiting for whatever this is, but it never came out.
The only thing that he really cooked up was what, Blue Sky.
Yeah, he
That was
picked up
it.
Blue Sky, and then he sold that. But yeah, the Block company was changed, and the logo was changed intentionally, right? Because it was supposed to be this software solution. Block was supposed to be the software solution that encompassed a whole new suite of products plus Cash App and Square. So I think whatever he's going to debut soon is why he made mention to it, right? He made mention to it, and now they're in the top. You know, that been got added to the S&P 500. But not only that, you know, they are hosting a workshop here at InvestFest next month.
Really? They
Yeah.
got a workshop.
Yeah. And
Where?
this is in addition to him speaking
Where?
at InvestFest.
The workshop is at
InvestFest, yes.
Wow.
So actually, I'm like, oh, when I read that yesterday, I was like, oh shit, like that's actually bigger than the conversation, bigger than him being on stage. Like him being on stage is just like noise, right? To whatever that workshop is,
That's where it needs.
that's where people's hands are gonna be on something that they building.
The people who are builders. See, you see it like that. Not a lot
Well,
of people
that
don't
are
see
builders, but
Now-
the
now
entrepreneurs
that's-
are gonna. We need the builders need to be in that.
That's what
room.
I'm
Right.
about to say. We
That's
gotta
where the
take
opportunity
advantage.
is.
We
Yeah.
got to take advantage of that.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that like the workshop now. I didn't know there was a workshop. Now I'm like, shit. Now I gotta
Interesting.
go to
Interesting.
the workshop.
Yeah. Good shit, Cheese.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. But yeah, I think there's some interesting things that's being cooked up over. Yeah, Spiral. Spiral was the platform, and TBD. Those two platforms. Nothing ever came out of that. So I think now he's trying to resurrect those things. So it'll be interesting.
Yes, sir. We will keep an eye on that. And yeah, man, hopefully Jack, man, will be able to have a conversation, or hopefully he'll be able to pull up to Atlanta Blockchain Center. That'll be dope if we see Jack Dorsey pull up to ABC, have a conversation with Marlon. You know, I'm sure they would want to code and build something. I'm quite sure if they had the conversation. So yeah, so big up to Jack Dorsey, man. Yes, sir. All right, so let's talk about some tech, man. We ain't hear about no cool tech in a minute. So Lenovo, y'all fans of Lenovo? That tech, you know, they make a lot of laptops, televisions. Well, they unveiled a new.
Not against it, but not
Not a
against
big
it.
fan?
Yeah, I just listen, not against it.
Gotcha.
Just,
Okay.
I'm sure I probably in my lifetime had a Lenovo to use
TV or something like that.
something. Yeah.
No doubt. All right, so boom. Lenovo has unveiled a new Legion branded smart AR glasses in China featuring a massive jump in display and brightness. All right. So the Gen 2 model was showcased at the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas 2025. The glasses also included Lenovo's 2D to 3D conversion tech compatible with many AAA games in gaming devices. All right, so that's gonna be dope. You got some hardware for your games. Also, the other features include dual speakers aimed at the ears and a lightweight 63 grams. All right, that's not that heavy. All right, and it has a wide field of view, magnetic lenses in support, and adjustable nose pads. It's priced about $350, and they may debut it globally as the Legion Glasses Gen 3. So I think if they are going to do this, because it's already in China, they already know something like this, they're going to have to compete with the Meta glasses, because Meta, they got the Ray-Bans, and now they got a partnership with Oakley. So I wear glasses. Cheese, I think he got the Meta glasses as well. We had Dr. Jamal Montgomery with the glasses.
And shout out to him.
Yes, sir. Big shout out to Doc. I think
Look forward to
he might-
speaking to you soon, brother.
Yes, sir. I think he might be coming out here next month for InvestFest.
You too, and CJ the smart guy.
That's right. That's
Putting
right.
that on record while we talking about it.
And shout out to Khadija, his wife too. Gotta shout out his wife too. So they all had on the tech, all right, as far as the glasses. I thought they were dope. So, Cheese, what's your perspective on this? Because I know you actually got glasses like that, smart glasses. So would you ever try another brand if they're potentially better, and maybe the frames just might look flyer, but the tech might be okay? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I think this is a big thing. Like, I remember college, Google Glass came out, and it never really got into the hands of the consumer, right? But we, like, as a tech space, I think we've been trying to get closer and closer to how to really tap into what people can do with their eyes, and virtual reality, the Virtual Boy, the VR headset back in the Nintendo days. That was one of the first, ways of doing it.
Damn, that was a while ago.
You remember VR Boy?
Damn.
Yeah. Right, it had that. But continuing from there's always new companies kept trying to do this thing. Snapchat had their goggles that never came out. but they're getting ready to pull those off the shelf and try again with that.
Okay.
Meta, you just talked about that. I think they've been the most successful so far.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people
between
with
the Oculus and right now with their glasses. So now what's missing is really a AR device that's really affordable. Apple has their Vision Pro. That's AR. But it's gonna walk around that big ass thing on their head,
and it's like what? How much? $3,500.
it's like $3,500. So I think where we're going though, I think we're going to see some good stuff. Stuff like this though, I like because what they're attempting to do is get rid of your computer screen. So imagine you can
That's
just
crazy.
pull up with a keyboard, tap your glasses, and you start seeing your screen in front of you. So now you just got your keyboard, that's all you need, and they're projecting your computer and your data is on the cloud.
That's crazy.
Right? So your browser, everything is accessible from this AR component, and your data is all there, right? Most of I feel like most of my, aside from like pictures and things that I download, everything else is like when I'm doing work, productive is already on my Google email and all that shit. Everything's like Canva, right? It's like all like already on the internet. So or my email, like how often, well, a lot of people are doing stuff from their phone. I know a lot of people I use my computer a lot, but a lot of people tell me like they just do everything from their phone, right? So now getting close to getting to somewhere now you can just have it on your eyes, I think is where a lot of people are trying success. If in fact Google, maybe by the end of this year or early next year, they're going to drop their glasses that is going to be AR compatible.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So they're gearing up to be one of the first that actually have a affordable AR. And I don't know if Lenovo is probably going to take the route of integrating their computers, their laptops, with their glasses.
Good point. I didn't even think about that.
Right, so you can use your Lenovo laptop without the screen. But I think
that's kind of dope.
Yeah, from that perspective. But Google just bought 4% stake in Gentle Monster.
What's that?
Gentle Monster makes sunglasses. So Google is that serious that they bought a 4% stake in the eyewear company.
Wow.
Because they're not only are they going to drop their glasses, but they're going to probably continue to build products with Gentle Monster that this continue to shape the eyewear tech space. And then Meta just launched their Meta 3 glasses partnership with Oakley.
The Oakley joints, yeah.
Right, so those are you can wear those while you swim.
Wow. So they'll still be functional and everything?
Yeah.
Underwater?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's fly.
Your
That's
glasses
innovative.
will be able to see better than you because they're not goggles. But water will still be getting in your eyes.
Yeah.
But you can wear these.
That's fire.
Yeah, your glasses will be able to
Yeah.
see, but
They might as well make goggles then too.
that's what's going to happen. Like,
Yeah.
low
That's
key, like I was
crazy.
talking to, who was I talking to? Maybe it was you. I don't know, but we were talking to
Talking about
somebody.
everything, man.
And we were talking about how these glasses can be made for like they're gonna partner with, it was me. I think it was me and talking about it, but like how like if you're in a lab and you're wearing goggles in the lab, why hasn't Meta like have those yet?
Genius.
Right?
They probably got them.
They
People who work on the the
different
black
form
ops
factors,
programs got them
different
shits.
form factors, man.
They got two shits.
And the Army, we're not even talking about the Army and how Meta and Lucky Palmer and Anderval and the government and Palantir.
Are we going to rabbit holes? It's a rabbit hole,
It
Cheese?
is a rabbit hole. Yeah, but anyway.
You got thoughts on that, or just these glasses, man? Would you get something like these, man, or your nephew or something like that? You think he would like something like that as a kid? There's a gaming aspect to these glasses as well.
I'm not against it. I say this, on things that I don't have time. Well, I would like to experience it, but I've had the VR and all that stuff before, and when I have it, I don't even really spend enough time with it to, I've just really been busy. But when I get a chance to experience it, it's cool. I think a lot of these technology just changed too fast for me too. I don't want to get it, and then I feel like they change faster than the phones.
To a certain degree,
Yeah,
yes.
so I just don't like to get it and then just have it for a year, and then all of a sudden it's outdated. Yeah.
That makes
And then
sense.
a lot of times I don't even want to get the first version. I mean, I've learned that here at the Blockchain Center. It's like I'm gonna wait till V2 comes out, and then that's when I'll jump into.
Man, listen, you said a great point. You know why? I'm showing y'all my age right now. They was doing that shit with pages. When pages first came out, and I got the Motorola two-way pager, the one that Hove was talking about, and give it to me. I had that same gray one. That shit was $500 when it came out. Man, like 2 years later, Motorola made the BlackBerry. Dog. I couldn't give that fucking device away. I think I still got that tucked away. I got that. I just got it for nostalgia purposes, just because it looked cool, and I had.
It was cool at the time.
Little chime ringtones on the shit that people was making beats on and shit like that. Shit was dope, man. The two-way pager. It was fly too. A lot of ladies, they was like, "Oh, you got a two-way pager." I remember that. That shit was lit. Thank a lot, man. Those are some days. Those some days right there. But yeah, man. The tech. That was a good point, and just not to be the first one to get the first version, because it's gonna be a astronomical price, and then they gotta come out with a version 2, and your shit gonna be obsolete. So so wait for the technology to work out the kinks and the bugs, and then jump on it, man. But Cheese, he said he's a fan of the glasses. He be rocking them from time to time, so that shit's dope. So, speaking of gaming and AR, right? Lamborghini, win Lambo, all right? Big shout out to VV. They had the first Lamborghinis on the blockchain, all right? But Lamborghini is entering the metaverse in style through a partnership with World. So World is a metaverse. They're launching digital versions of its new Tamario and Tamario GT3 models. All right, so these are exclusive Lamborghini vehicles. All right, this marks the debut of Lamborghini's Fast for World platform. All right, aimed at blending high-performance car culture with immersive Web3 experiences. I think that's super fly. I gotta ask Cheese his opinion on this, because he's a big racing guy and Web3 guy. So on July 11th, 590 street cars and 10 ultra-rare GT3 cars will drop for $300 each. All right, so they're usable across World, Rev Racing, Motorverse, and more. So these NFTs are basically interoperable on other games. That's super dope. When I read this, I was like, because usually, you'll have NFT that launches in a game, you can only play it in that one game. This was super dope, and because it's cars, it makes sense. You should be able to drive it in other driving games. So unlike typical NFTs, these universally digital assets, they called universal digital assets. That was a new one I heard, all right? They're fully interoperable and playable. Lamborghini will also open an interactive showroom in World's Unreal Engine 5 powered city, offering fans access to the cars, collectibles, and brand history, signaling a long-term digital expansion backed by Animoca brands, Samsung, Nvidia, and others. I think this is a great play for Lamborghini, and they are they are in tune with Web3 culture, because that's one of the terms in Web3, win Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Man, for them to have when I read this article, and I've always felt like NFTs right now they got a bad rap, so it has to be some rebranding in this space. I'm a big NFT guy. That's how I got in this space. So instead of calling these digital collectibles NFTs, I just choose to call them digital collectibles, right? Or digital assets. But when I heard universal digital assets, the reason why they call it universal digital assets is because they're interoperable and playable in other games, in other metaverses. This was fucking groundbreaking to me. I want to see what other gaming companies are going to start having universal digital assets that are interoperable in other games. So I got to ask both my co-hosts, what's your thoughts on what Lamborghini is doing by having a universal digital asset? Oh, my bad.
I think is dope. Like Wild World, I had read some stuff up on them. I read that they were gonna get into the car industry anyway, and Lamborghini has already been in this space for a while, selling Lamborghini NFTs, like during the last cycle. So it makes sense that they're collaborating now. I know Wild World wants to. They're gonna be like a more metaverse company. So this is their car partnership, and then maybe they'll have another partnership for other stuff as the world expands. But I think the bigger play, if I go down the rabbit hole, is digital flexing. Right? We're very early at that. Very, very early. But it hasn't really caught up in the digital yet. Right? I feel like the pandemic was the last time people were kind of like taking on like some of this like attribution to some of this digital shit, like having the apes and the bored apes. Yep. Those are stuff that not really people like, that was stuff like those I would say like the Chads of the space. They wanted those things.
It's the Chads.
But like look at current Web2 culture. The thing that's popping is the boo-boos. Boo-boos are really taking over. Not really taking over, but
can you explain to the people that are listening what that is? Because it's a weird word to me, first of all, and it's just like, honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what you're talking. I mean, I know what it is, but the first time you said that, I was like, "What is he talking about?" And I think a lot of people around you were talking about like, "What is he talking about?" Because you didn't expand on it. But I think you should expand on what that is.
Check it out. I was at Linux and I saw some Labubus and I bought a gaming trading card pack. So I'm running my car right quick. Those watching live, I'm running card.
And while he's running his car, will you just start giving the description? Give the verbal description while he's going to get the physical.
Yeah. But so the boo-boos are these characters. In terms of like look, they look sort of like Teletubbies, but they have like big rabbit ears. But they were made popular from this Korean pop group, and after that, people just wanted these things. They were manufactured by China, and they're manufactured in China, and under the company called Pop Mart. The guy that had created them, instant billionaire, offered it this product alone. And the virality, people showing them off, knowing that they have one, the limited amount, the black box concept, meaning that you don't know which one you're ever going to get. It just reminds me of back in the day when people used to have major virality around physical assets like Pokemon cards, etc. That case, I'm no longer at the age where I really consider myself at the need to collect these Labubus. If I collected one, it would be just out of the sake of, having that have it as a conversation piece. But they have some interesting collabs coming up. They had a collab with Chrome Hearts.
I've seen these before.
They had the Chrome Hearts collaboration. They had now they have a Carhartt collaboration, and the Carhartt Labubu is going to drop for 5 figures.
How much are these worth?
That's crazy.
When it comes out.
It's only $2 for this pack.
Where'd you get it at?
Lennox Mall.
Okay.
It's an anime shop.
Okay.
So
I just want to have it because everybody's talking about it, so we got a reference. I wasn't gonna buy the dog.
So it's stuff like that, and I would actually argue that they have bigger penetration.
Pause. Oh,
Then-
whoa, pause. Not the bigger penetration.
Have bigger penetration than the Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell
Oh,
yeah.
so I need to pay attention. You see how I turn around
yes,
real quick?
yes.
Because
They got the mind
Pudgy
shit.
and Pangu's been doing all right.
Yeah, they have been to us, but everybody out okay, we go.
See, here we go once again. This is where I forget. That weird stuff to me, or that stuff I have no idea with, that's the stuff you need to be paying attention to in this space.
We go, okay, T.Gold.
That's
you
the
and
stuff that gains
T.Gold,
value
you
and
and
just
I
takes
were-
off. You forget
You
it.
were at Bookstore Gallery yesterday, right?
It's crazy.
And out of everybody there, do you think more people are aware of Labubus or Pudgy Penguins?
Oh, definitely La Boo Boo.
Okay.
Definitely.
This is
Definitely.
Okay. I got you.
so, and this is just like, I'm only saying this because of the amount of mind share and capital that floods to this space. And these are physical assets. So what I'm saying is the world has yet to really tap into digital flexing. Right? Where I have this thing in the digital space. So I think I'm kind of going on a tangent, but where I really wanted to hone in on was like when we really get to that digital space and we are in this metaverses and you got your avatar, your avatar got the latest fit on, and some other people don't got that fit, and I got the Lambo with this. These things are really gonna matter then, right? And you may feel like, I want to take my dope ass Lambo from this world to another world. That's all gonna matter. So, I mean, you may not get involved, but you may be forced to get involved, because if you see yourself as an expert or high rank in an individual in the space, how you gonna pull up to the metaverse party in a fucking neon I don't know
A Hyundai.
Chevy Neon. Dodge Neon.
a Dodge Neon. That's what I was about to say. A Dodge Neon.
No knocks to those. Yeah, but Dodge Neon.
But yeah.
That's a fact, though, man. I'm ready for the metaverse flex, man. Y'all already know I'm a fan of VV, man. So I got Maserati and a Back to the Future joint. So you know what I mean. I got DeLorean. So one day I'm gonna get the real life DeLorean, because the new shit is fucking phenomenal. That's the flyest car I ever seen. You know what I mean? That shit. The Back to the Future car was the flyest car I seen in the '80s, and right now, the new Back to the Future car, they might as well just make a new movie with that car, because that car looks fucking sick. It's an electric, fucking futuristic supercar. The shit look dope as hell, and it still got the gold wing doors. So I'm super thrilled about that. So yeah, but shout out to everybody who are Lambo drivers. You know what I mean? The Lambos are sick.
I got my Porsche NFT, my Porsche 911 NFT.
Okay, so
that's
geez,
what I was thinking about, the Porsche 911 NFT, when you started discussing this. How did that turn out? Wasn't everybody excited about that? But then there was some comments about wasn't rolled out right, or it wasn't successful, or it was too expensive, or it didn't have utility. What was it on?
I think it's actually interesting that you brought that up, because I think when that came out, that was around the first time that I met you, actually. And I remember meeting you, and we were talking about it, and we were talking about how the rollout kind of failed, because the prices, people were confused by the 911 price, and they weren't confused. It just happened at a time where the market was falling, and Porsche still wanted to charge 9.911
ETH. Oh, ETH. Oh,
Yeah.
they're wilding.
That's what it was.
They should've did
What was it?
It was 9.911 ETH.
They should have scaled that back
0.911,
to $911 if the market was falling. Not no 9.1.
No, it's 0.911
Well,
ETH.
0.9 could have been.
0.9.
That was like
That was still
at
almost-
that time. That was like $3,500.
Yeah.
And that's when the market was falling.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
around
people,
that
there
time.
was okay. So there was some skepticism about,
Yeah.
and it was an NFT too, and there was some skepticism around
Yeah.
that. Okay, I got it.
So, but the people that did get it, some of them got flown out to Germany.
That's fly. That's utility.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got flown out to Germany, and they.
Why you didn't get flown out?
I didn't. I
You didn't
bought
get
it.
flew out.
There you go.
I didn't get flown out.
That
I
get
bought
filled out.
mine. Like during the bear market.
Mm.
When ETH came down, but so they got flown out and they were there for a couple of days and they got the tour, they got the test drive and tour the facilities.
That's dope.
So I think there is opportunity there. I don't know what's next, if they're even still working on shit for that, but I just call it out because that's my car, that's my digital flex.
All right, Ant. What's the whip that you trying to get, man? Because there's several whips you can get that can be metaverse ready. Or would you even consider getting this Lambo? It's about $300. So would you pay $300 to have a Lambo in the metaverse that's interoperable?
I enjoy this conversation, but there's one thing that Floyd Mayweather said on Drink Champs: everything ain't for everybody.
I got you. Okay.
You know, so
Okay.
honestly, like, you know, I appreciate being in this space and I'm aware of these, but I'm not in the metaverse like that, you know, and I'm not, you know, I have other focuses in this space. I respect it and I think it's cool. You know, I do, my nephew's 9 years old, so my interest would be to pass something on to him. You know, I think he would probably, I mean, that'd be cool probably for him to be here. He could probably have a better answer to that question than myself. But yeah, that's, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, he's everything to me, 9 years old, and I wanted him to be engaged in the blockchain Web3 AI space. So this is something I'll look into and maybe let him know. So I'll get back to you on this one. Stay tuned.
Cool. I definitely respect that, man. Because everybody got their thing in this space. And y'all know I'm a big NFT dude. I love cars. And, oh, yeah, there's a car show. My godson's car show, the very first car show for him, the inaugural car and bike show, man, with JBF Foundation. That's going to be on August the 2nd. So that is on a Saturday at Welcome Park, man.
Yeah,
So
let's be there. We'll be there.
yeah, man. Pull up. Let's go. So, you know, that's not a Web3 event, y'all. That's just some cool car culture shit, cool bike and car culture shit. Because he died on his bike that he loved. He died doing something he loved. He was a mechanic on top of that. So, you know, he loved fast cars and he was a speed demon. So, you know, to celebrate his life, it's going to be his second birthday. And we set it off with a car show, man. I did some dope t-shirt designs, flyer designs, man. So, you know, it's always dope to do stuff for the heart, man, and to get the feedback. It's always good to get feedback from your clients when you create something dope, you know, as a builder. And it's always heartfelt when you know the person that you're building it for, and you know you see the expectations. It's always a good moment for me as a creator. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. So big shout out to my godson Jaquez, man, Jaquez Brown, man. We miss you, we love you, bro. So with that being said, yeah, man. Win Lambo. Lambo's coming soon, man. This is bull run. Bull run looking crazy. The numbers is up. I hope you got your bags packed. I hope you got some meme coins. At least put 1 or 2 meme coins in your portfolio. I don't care if it's Doge or Pepe or Bonk. Get one of the top 10 meme coins at least. Alright? But not financial advice. Do your own research. Man, what do y'all think this market is gonna go to by the end of this year? With now that we got some good traction in DC, with the stablecoin Genius Act being passed, what's the price projections? Now we're gonna get into speculation.
Price projections of
The market, okay, whether it's the market cap or Bitcoin itself. How right now the market cap is 3.9 trillion. All right, and Bitcoin was what 2.3 of that. What do y'all think Bitcoin will be at the end of this year?
At the end of this year, I like your analysis yesterday that you gave. I want so you can share that today, but yeah. I want to hear. Run back your analysis. I like the way you broke it down.
Which one specifically? Because we talked about a lot yesterday.
You were talking about how, well, let me add my sauce into it.
No doubt.
Right, like I agree with what you were saying. Basically, you were saying that we're going to get over 200K by the end of this year, and I agree with your reasoning. And then I'll throw my reasoning in on top of that, which was basically I feel like there's some strategic waves happen here, right? We just had the Genius Act pass, and you see this momentum. Now we need to carry this momentum. Like we haven't had certain decisions yet, and that those decisions that are pending are going to even like bring more momentum. Like I'm waiting for the momentum of the Clarity Act to like really storm up, because once some of these companies understand like, oh, I can drop a coin now, so like money is being sidelined still. So
what do you mean money's being sidelined?
like just waiting on the side.
Yeah, okay.
For clarity.
Okay.
So like every time there's news, market gets pushed up. So that's my perspective on why I agree with what you were saying yesterday.
Nah, I remember that point. I appreciate that, Cheese. Yeah, what I was saying was, I feel like Ant was saying, in September, right? September is when they're going to address the Clarity Act. That gives us the market structure.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter is always the hottest quarter
Exactly.
of the bull run. It's the end of that year. So
What they do in sports.
if they can pass all three before the recess, before the year is out, because they take a break, we should easily cross 200K, even if we just look at what the market did last cycle.
Let's see what Master Investor said.
We definitely, and this is another thing too. We gotta get Brandon or our guy D Web, because I think I saw D Web earlier, but he probably got caught up. But yeah, man, we gotta get our traders on here. We gotta ask them their price projections, because this changes things. We got momentum like we've never had before in a bull run.
155K by February. So according to him, we are not going to hit 200K by the end of the year, but this will be interesting.
So the master investor Ian Dunlap has got Bitcoin at 155K by February, 2026?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can clear that before the summer. Before the summer is over. Like going into September, we already at 123K. So honestly, the momentum that we have, the more bills that get passed, the money that's waiting on the sidelines. We just talked about it. He asked us like, yo, what's the global market cap of all of the assets in the world? Half a quadrillion, which is $500 trillion to $900 trillion, and Bitcoin in the whole crypto industry is less than 1%. That's crazy to me. So Bitcoin will have to get to. All right, let's see what the market cap of the art. Let's not even get crazy. Cheese, do me a favor, or Ant. Somebody look up what's the actual market cap of just art
Oh,
as an
that's
investment.
huge.
I know it's in the
But,
trillions.
yeah.
I know it's probably like
It was surprisingly usually to
like
me.
8
I
trillion
mean,
or something like
I
that.
am not surprised, but I know it was that much.
Because we gonna get some real time data.
Global art market in 2024 was $500 billion.
$500 billion?
I
Nah.
thought it was more than that.
This has got to be.
552.
I swore it was way more than that.
Yeah, I thought
This
it was more
got
than that
it's
too.
That's what it
555 billion.
says. Yeah.
That's it. I don't know. We got to double check that. Let's find another resource. Let's find another resource and see if let's ask ChatGPT. That's what you asked.
I can ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, let's ask ChatGPT and see how much
That was Google. Google said 550
billion.
billion.
That might be the money that went into the industry that year. What's like overall? That sounds about right for the year though. Because people, these billionaires, they
Yeah,
be
it's
fine.
about the same.
It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So is that the amount of money that was spent for that year, or just the total value of just the art
Total
market?
value.
All right. So right now, I don't know. I swore I saw a chart, and maybe this chart might have been old, where the art market was worth like globally, it was in the trillions. And I can see that. Here's the thing, because you got the Salvador Mundi is worth $400 million by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just the Salvador Mundi, that's one piece. That's the most expensive piece in the world. The Salvador Mundi. That's a picture of Christ holding this crystal ball. That's a whole nother conversation of the crystal ball. But it's the most valuable piece in the world. The most expensive NFT was Beeple's Everyday NFT that went for $69 million. So just to put things in perspective, it's still early. This space is still early.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if crypto get to 1% of, let's just say, $500 trillion.
But say it again.
If crypto
Okay.
gets to 1% of $500 trillion, what's that?
1% of $500 trillion is $5 trillion.
$5 trillion. That's just the market cap of Bitcoin doubling, pretty much. If Bitcoin double, that's a quarter million dollars a coin. That's easy this cycle. $250,000 a coin?
I'm pushed back on that, and I think that's okay.
Of course, we need different perspectives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 250.
250 is too high.
Yeah, I
for
think
this year.
Yeah, I think it's okay to be conservative.
Of course.
Yeah, and my opinion, I think it's gonna get to about 150 by the end of this year. By the end of this year, and then
By the end of this year, 150.
Yeah, I think it's gonna in the end of this year. It's gonna be around the 150s.
That's very conservative.
But I think that the first quarter of next year, because I'm looking at, I'm zooming out too, and I'm not looking at just towards the end of the year. I'm also looking at towards the end of the year. I'm looking at like the 3 to 6 months into 2026, like previous charts.
So that's like
the spring,
super
the summer,
cycles.
the fall, the winter of and I'm taking in just the consideration of just some of my own research and just different things. I do think that with a possible hat trick, pulling off legislation, and like he said, there's going to be there's money on the sideline. It's going to come in. I think that Bitcoin is going to be, like I said, close to 150 towards the end of the year, and then it's going to start going up, maybe closer to 200s, and then I think we're going to see some changes. In 2026, it's going to dip. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree. I agree on the dip in
but I think
2026.
that or I'm just really looking at it as opportunities of experience in this space. Do as much as you can between really these next 6 to 9 months. That's it.
We
right
agree.
there.
That's something.
The next 6 to 9 months, like
we don't.
double down, because if you're thinking you have 9 to 12, you might get yourself surprised.
I don't think
But I do think that the
window.
crypto market as a whole is going to go crazy because of all the other things that we're talking about.
Bingo.
Yeah, so yeah, I think, you know,
I-
150, but I think that though, if we're already met, you know, yesterday they said it was at 4 trillion, right? Today it's 3.9.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that doubling by the end of the year.
Okay. So that would still technically push Bitcoin closer to 200K.
No, I'm not.
If we double
No,
the market cap right now.
No, I'm not. I'm just talking. No, I'm not talking about just crypto market, not Bitcoin. The crypto market in whole, like everything.
That'll push us to almost 8 trillion. So Bitcoin is still 50% of the market dominance, right? Because what is the Bitcoin market dominance right now? It's still, we can go coin market cap and see Bitcoin dominance. See what it is.
I still think it's gonna be the go-to. I just think there's gonna be so many other coins.
The altcoins.
Yeah.
I think Marlon said once Bitcoin get into the 40s, as far as the amount of money that's in the crypto space, when you see Bitcoin's dominance go down into the 40s, he said that's when it's true altcoin season. And he's like, yo, that's the time you should be taking your profits around that time. You know what I'm saying? Because shit cool off after that. So like you said, Ant, I totally agree with the market cooling off within the next 6 months. Maybe nine, but I don't even want to risk it that long. That's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, end of 2025, beginning of 2026.
Right now, Bitcoin dominance is around 58.
58%. So, with Marlon's reference saying when Bitcoin goes from 58% market dominance into like 48%, 49%, that's when we in true altcoin season, because more people are putting their money into that opposed to Bitcoin.
Yeah. But here's the other thing to consider too is like at what point are we gonna hit that total crypto market valuation, right? Is it gonna be during alt season where the dominance of Bitcoin is being outweighed by the rest of the market, and then during that time, that total market is really not necessarily driven by Bitcoin's price. It's driven by all the other shit that's outweighing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see where both of you are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can see the total market being just heated and not be majority Bitcoin.
Do you think it'll cool off the end of this year or the beginning or middle or sometime next year?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Early. I mean, there's gonna typical like market structure cools off in September. Right, September, October are often the worst months in the stock market in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
stock market.
That's
Okay.
a fact.
Yeah,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and so institutions in general will probably there'll probably be a pullback in like crypto as well in September. And if we get the momentum, it will be like right in October, November, December. That's like there's always this pullback at end of August, September, and then things take off to basically, you know, like Ant said, that fourth quarter, like it is in the sports world, right? There's a lot of momentum there. So,
Price projection.
I mean, I ambitiously want to see us over 200K, but if I'm being realistic, I think we got July and August to see some momentum, and probably I would say 147.
That's a random ass.
No,
that's
it's not.
a random
No,
ass.
it's not. No, it's not. No,
he
it's not.
came with the prices.
147 is not
he came with
random.
the prices right number.
Is that random? Yeah,
He came with the prices
Is
right.
that a random number?
It's
No,
not a
it's
random.
not.
It's
It's
not a
not.
random.
There's a
It's
science
not-
behind
Yo,
that, bro.
It's not a
It
random
had a
number.
solid 150. I had 250. Joe got 147. Yo, that's funny. He came with the prices right number. Yo, that's funny as hell. But nah, man, you know, we like to do fun shit like that,
There's
man. Do price
147
projections.
on the undercover cop.
Yeah, that's funny, yeah. So yeah, man, you know, we just like to, you know, have fun and kick around, you know, price speculation on where we think the market would be. Not financial advice, but just definitely pay attention to the market. What's going on? There's definitely about
Ask.
6 to 9 months left of this shit running hot. So that's just based on past information from past cycles. Bitcoin's on a 4-year cycle.
Hold on, you got Luna wants to share her thoughts.
Oh, we bringing Luna. Oh, we bringing the AI chatbot back to the
Yeah.
co-host. Okay, we got. Yes, sir. We ain't have Luna pop up in a minute.
Bitcoin super cycle.
What's up, Luna?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. How's everything going on your side?
Good. We're talking about Bitcoin prices by the end of the year. So there's a book called The Bitcoin Super Cycle written by Michael Terrapin. Based on that book, tell us what you think the price of Bitcoin is going to be by the end of the year.
Oh, predicting Bitcoin prices is always a fun challenge. Based on the idea with Super Cycle, some people are really optimistic and think it could go really high, but others are more cautious. We'll have to see how the market plays out and what kind of surprises the year brings.
What do you think what that number will be?
Ooh, putting me on the spot. Well, if I had to take a fun guess, I might say somewhere around the 6-figure mark, maybe a bit over 100,000, if the super cycle theory holds true. But of course, that's just for fun, and nobody really knows for sure.
Come on, you can do better than that. You know it. We're already over 100K. We're already at 120. So give me a more precise number.
All right, fair enough. If we're already at 120K and we're looking at a super cycle continuing to the end of the year, I might say maybe around 150 to 160K, but we'll just have to wait and see how it all unfolds.
Okay.
We appreciate that because it looked like Luna, you know, she went and got the digital BBL. You know, she
No,
said
they upgraded the voice component now, so they feel like they have a little bit more personality and conversation with them.
I can definitely tell because you know, she has more personality. It sounds like she got, you know, digital BBL. You know what I'm saying, for the AI. You know what I'm saying. So I think that's fly though. You know what I mean. Sounds like there's more time to like pause and think like a human would when asked questions. So I thought that was pretty dope. That was different from last time. So you know, we always gonna talk about AI too in this space, man. So it was dope to speak to Luna. You know?
I actually prefer though the older way because it just answer the question. Now it's like it try to like be human and think about it like as a human would, and I'm like, just give me the answer.
So Cheese trying to get straight to the point. I ain't mad at you, brother. So yeah, y'all. It's been another dope spaces. Oh, we gotta shout out NFTia, man. We even shout out in the beginning, man. Shout out to NFTia. I know she's out there with her family. She's out in Ohio, taking care of family business. So safe travels. We miss you and have fun.
Yes,
And
yes, sir.
you know, when you get back, man, you know,
You got your seat.
got your seat ready.
We're here for you.
And I can't wait. I can't wait for August. August is gonna be dope. We cooking up some dope events for Invest Fest week, you know, so that's gonna be dope. I don't know if we got any exclusive events that anybody got lined up. Anybody want to talk about any events in August you want to talk about?
Yes. So this is Alpha. I'm working on the flyer right now, but I told people this, but I haven't actually made it official yet. But in 3 weeks, I'm launching the first Skylark class, which would basically be. And I talked about it. T and I talked about it, and Vincent and I talked about it. And then John and I talked about it. But a lot of people are asking, "Hey man, I want to do a scavenger hunt." Right. And basically, I'm gonna put together a class, and what I want to do is empower people to take the reins and by their own take the reins by their hands, right? Like most of the scavenger has been via my hands, but if you want to get your hands dirty, here's the price that you got to pay to utilize Skylark, and I'll get you set up and create you an account, get you access to all the tools, and then on top of that, I'm going to be launching a referral program so you can earn by getting other businesses on the platform as well. So be on the lookout for the flyer this week. I'm going to spend the next 3 weeks advertising, but I'm also looking forward to people that pull up. I don't have I'm trying to determine what day of the week to do it. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, just supporting Joe on the scavenger hunt. So I'm sure I'll be working with him on that. Also, we're about that time, end of the year. End of the month of July and the beginning of August. Kids are going back to school, so we're going to be looking into supporting some of the high school kids back here with some of the back to school activities, with some education tools that we do here at the Atlanta Blockchain Center, and making sure that that's what we do here. We educate and we onboard, and that was one of the cool things that we were able to share with the senators and the Congress that we were meeting with when we were in DC. Once we gave them examples of how we're working with schools, we've worked with the AUC Web3, and we have been at Emory and Georgia Tech and Georgia State, Clark, Spelman. They were like, oh, okay. I was like, we're basically educating the workforce of the future in blockchain, and they see where it's going. So we'll make sure we're going to do something with that in August. And then, definitely, we got some other stuff coming up. I know we're going to run back Coffee and Crypto. So we'll probably run that back to the other Prevail Coffee location in West Midtown. So those three things are top of mind for me, as far as the scavenger hunt coming up here pretty soon. Like I mentioned, working with the schools, getting back to school, and we're also gonna do some stuff around some more music and some creativity and art and all that stuff like we did. Shout out to Cam Kirk Studios, and y'all check out that Cam Kirk Studios recap on Atlanta Chain Instagram. Shout out to Richnette LaFleur, killed it with the recap, fire for real. So, and then I'm sure I'll be doubling down on some Stand with Crypto, work, so that we can continue, make sure that we can push this Clarity Act through as well, so that we can keep making an impact in the community. So, anything else?
Yeah, I just I appreciate all of y'all for just the information that y'all provided today for all the listeners, man. We definitely appreciate y'all thoughts. And again, big shout out to you and all of the events that we got cooking up, and Just Cheeze, we got some events, man, that's coming down the pipeline. So y'all tap in, y'all tune in, stay tuned. And also, speaking of back to school, we are doing the back to school drive at the car show. So if people want to just donate, some back to school supplies, it's the Kept Outreach Ministries is where we're donating the school supplies to, and they're gonna give it to the children in the community out there in Southwest Atlanta. So yeah, that's what we got going on. All right, so we appreciate everybody tapping in, listening on X, aka Twitter. We appreciate everybody tapping in on YouTube and Instagram. The visuals is coming out phenomenal, and the clips is on the way. They loaded, So yeah, man. Speaking of clips, let's get into it, man.
Let God sort them out.
Let God sort them out, and big up to Malice, man. He's had a great resurgence coming back into this game, man. You know what I'm saying? He came back like he never left, man, and Pusha was holding him down. It was funny too, because I always thought Malice was better, and I didn't know if Pusha was gonna be able to do it on his own, but he definitely held it down for sure. So if you see on the table right here, you see that that custom box, the bundle box. That shit is super dope, man. And I'm a big fan of the art. I got the Cause t-shirt on, so me being a graphic designer, and an artist, man, I'm gonna always support people in my field. And so if I'm not Web3 wavy, I'm gonna be on some, just some real culture shit. You know what I mean? And yo, let's get into it. Clips. Let God sort them out. We're gonna jump into the Nas joint. All right. So this is the title track along with Chandeliers. You know what I mean? Because Nas, he been on the tear, man. And I do want to say something about the Nas joint I played earlier with Raekwon. That
was
verse,
dope.
that verse is the second verse. But Nas, he got a habit of writing multiple verses on songs.
Oh yeah, by the way.
He has an unreleased song that actually ended up being leaked, and it was a verse, and he pretty much went at Jim Jones or everybody else who had a problem with his whatever he's doing that y'all don't like. Nas, he said that was like a warning shot to anybody if y'all really in y'all feelings about what Nas is doing or what he's not doing. That verse that didn't make Raekwon's album that got leaked, that's actually all over the internet. Oh my God. Y'all don't want no problems with Nas.
By the way, we actually have a price now.
We got a price. What we got a price on, Cheese?
Price enough for what?
We have a price on how much that Wu-Tang album is actually worth.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, this was announced this week. I forgot to bring it up, but Bloomberg made a post about it that the World Trade Center endeavors purchased the company that purchased the album from the U.S. government.
The Pleaser Dow?
Well, the Pleaser Dow paid $4 million for it, but it's actually worth $2,233,048. $238,482.30. So
you say it's
basically
worth
$2.2 million.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Cause I thought you was gonna say something crazy like $250,000. I'm like, nah, hell no. I know that album ain't gonna be worth no $250,000. But yeah, 2.2. That's cool. That's cool.
I'm waiting to see how that impacts. I don't remember early last year. They were selling those Wu-Tang NFTs.
I was just about to mention that because I got 5 of them.
Yeah, so
I got.
I don't know how much of a fraction of the album that's worth, but
I got 5 of them joints, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how many they minted. I forgot. I think it was capped. I'm pretty sure it was capped. But yeah, I got 5 of them Wu-Tang joints. Even though I can't listen until 2120 or whatever it is. That's around the same time the last Bitcoin to be mined. So my grandkids will have a bunch of things to some time capsules to open up from this period. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Nah, we just gonna freeze you, man, and put you in cold storage. And when they find the cure, then we gonna bring you back out so you can listen to it.
Nah, honestly, fam, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I just want to go back to the essence, back to the cosmics, man. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you,
good.
man.
I'm good, man.
I just dropped a little behind the scenes, some crypto. I just dropped a little behind the scenes some crypto knowledge for our viewers.
Nah,
We'll
most
talk about
definitely.
it. Hal Finney.
How Finney? Oh, yeah.
Hal Finney was one of the first people to receive. He received
Bitcoin.
10 Bitcoin.
Yeah, he's the first one.
From Satoshi Nakamoto.
Mm-hmm.
And when he passed, they froze him.
Mm-hmm.
And he is in Arizona in a cryotherapy type center in cold storage. And whatever it was that is needed to cure him in the future, possibly when that Wu-Tang album comes out and they have a cure, they'll unfreeze him,
There's a few people,
cure him, and he'll be listening to the Wu-Tang.
Now, there's a few people that did that cryogenically froze themselves. It was, I believe, Walt Disney.
A few people.
I think
a lot of people have done it.
I think Walt Disney did it as far as like prominent people. I heard Trump wants to do it.
The question really comes back is when does that body come back? Does the soul?
That's why I don't want to. I don't even want to tinker with any of that. Just let me go however I'm gonna go, and I don't worry about coming back. As long as I got kids and I got grandkids, I'm gonna live forever. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You live forever. You start planting them seeds, man. You live forever. So Listen, man.
I'm coming back on you. I'm just playing. I'm just playing, dog.
So, yo, man, we gotta get into these clips, man. Let guys sort them out. Chandeliers, it's Nas, clips. You know what I mean? This is episode 75. I appreciate our guy, Aunt Mathis, from Stand With Crypto, holding it down. And we appreciate Just Cheeze. Big shout out to NFTia. Big shout out to Vincent Owens for the crypto coffee event. Big shout out to Marlon. Big shout out to Chris and Van. Stepping it up and holding it down in DC, man. Making history, man. That photo's going in the history books, y'all. So just know that, man. Yo. I'm glad I'm part of this team, man. I'm so glad I'm part of this team. You know. Let's get right into it. Let God sort them out. Chandeliers, Nas, clips. Let's go.
It's always the loud mouths that can't count. The right price, I put the AR in the safe mouth. Talk about bring all the watches and the chains out. Heat come on De Niro, I got the safe house.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Surrounded by niggas with tears that don't drip. Talk about that ain't the ghost that you appear to go get. Finally got the courage, but you still a whole bitch. The rest of y'all on my 6 year ago shit. Every move intentional, the links is atypical. Like baseball and DR. You know what the stick will do.
This is culturally inappropriate.
We got the drop on your shadow. You know we can get to you. The pen to express my dreams and expertise in text I squeeze. Coke spots all over like leprosy. It's a dark spirit tucked behind the flesh you see. Got every single word of the hex I need. The depth I breathe, the depth I see. Looks so good on you. The coffin wood on you. Closed casket cause I'm only sick and wolves on you. Berlinetta horsepower, put them hooves on you. Blow $500,000 LV, leather goods on you. We've been doing this for eons. While you thirsty trying to figure out who you can spill a tea on. I'm in coffee fields, making meals. You get the chills cause this shit is real. Now let me rip it, bow tie your surprise. The feeling that you get when you realize it was really you that died and we are so alive. Conspiracy theory, you can't believe it's us. Soul leave your body like a fentanyl rush. Dead on your back with your eyes looking up chandeliers.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Single-handedly boosted rap to its truest place. First speaking candidly, I alone did rejuvenate hip-hop into its newest place. Made it cool for Grammy-nominated LPs from previous generation MCs. And that rings loud and reverberates. It's not fair to them. I'm thinking I deserve the hate. Bring it. Only thing you killing is precious time. Used to clash with Decepticons. I was the deaf and blind. So cancel me before I unleash the panther me. The Pantheon is a family. We some upstanding G's. The difference between regular spitters and bosses, my principles are. You need a glimpse of me from satellites in orbit. Take sabbaticals on avenues. Bring AKs on vacays when we paddle canoes. Follow the leader, Terminator, hasta la vista. Man of the year, Nasir, rockin' chandeliers.
Woo! Yeah, man. Clips got some shit on here,
The
man.
devil's tapping on shoulders. He's trying to get to know you. The right time to fold you. I'm losing saints in my soldiers. It's all lottie-dottie to you looking at the body. Smiles I'll never see again. Never be a we again. Cleaning out your closet. The one you kept your demons in. Hard for me to breathe again.
This shit good, dog. Look at
I'ma blame your head, not your heart, till we meet again. Easily I could have been one of them. Locked up and never get to see the sun again. Burning buildings, I kept running in. Catch me in the bulletproof coloring. Tears on my pillowcase. Was I spitting in your face when you let me beat that case? Some niggas see the money, can't make it. Some niggas get the money, can't take it. Gotta realize that they was naked. Was I cooking death when I was baking? Salt Bay, sprinkle it and saute it. You don't trust me, then we all weigh it. And it ain't over till we all say it. And you ain't shooting shit, them guns is archaic. In clothes and I see I'm chosen. All my pressure points frozen.